ISH, and we are here with Peter Schneiders, who is the Regional Sales Manager West. But I will leave it up to you to tell us a little bit more about what you do.
So yeah, as you already said, my name is Peter Schneiders. I'm the Regional Sales Manager for the Western region. Around 10 years of experience in the industry, and I'm with Alberts for roughly 4 years now. My current role, I'm working in the western part of Germany together with this team of 6 people, and it's our job and our great passion to drive forward the transition of the energy efficiency in the building industry.
Which actually brings us to the question or the topic that we are discussing today, which is maximizing energy efficiency in HVAC systems. So what does that actually mean in terms of, a real practicality?
So if we talk about energy efficiency in buildings, and especially with our AutoSar valve, we automatically need to speak about hydronic balancing, and especially about the automatic hydronic balancing. We have new builds, existing buildings, and they all play a very, very, very important role in the energy transition because they consume most of the energy. And this needs to be produced somewhere. On our way to a climate neutral planet, this is a very important part. And the AutoSar valve is especially for let's say existing buildings a perfect fit in terms of making buildings ready for the future. And it doesn't even matter what the energy source is. It's combinable with all the different heating systems.
So could you speak a little bit more about the advantages of the AutoSar valve in terms of hydraulic balancing?
The AutoSar valve is a valve that automatically balances itself whenever the system parameters are changing. In the past, we were using static balancing valves, which means whenever I design a system, I design it for, let's say, for the full flow capacity. Then I install my products, and I set it up only for a couple of days per year, where we have, let's say, in the heating area, for example, cold days where we need 100% of the system energy. And whenever the system parameters are changing, and we are only working on a partial flow, in that very moment, let's say the pressure goes haywire. It's not controllable anymore with static balancing systems. So the static balancing valves will receive usually more pressure and create an overflow, which is definitely not wanted by the system, because all that happens is whenever there's an overflow, I consume my energy. The AutoSar valve, however, is automatically balancing itself. So whenever the system pressures are changing, it will not affect the flow because it's self-balancing, and it will prevent an overflow in the system. And this is where we can see, let's say, a very interesting energy saving, especially then combined with our thermostatic heads. It's easily double-digit with a very low investment.
I think one of the applications is on small residential buildings, so maybe we can go there a bit and kind of see how this actually works.
Let's do that.
Here at the small residential building wall, I would say, and we were discussing what sectors should focus actually on hydronic balancing. What do you have to say on that?
If we speak about the AutoSar valve and which sector we are focusing, we need to explain, let's say, basically there are 2 types of buildings. There's the new build and there's the existing buildings that need renovation. Our focus clearly is on the AutoSar valve, is on the renovation, and I will explain to you why. If we look at new buildings, most of the time these new buildings will already have, as per design, a lower energy consumption, and most of the time they will have an underfloor heating system. And if we talk about underfloor heating systems, our home-up solutions are more suitable. So once we are moving towards more energy efficiency and and more energy efficient buildings, we really need to work on the existing stock of buildings. Very often they have a poor design, they are quite old, using radiators and consume far too much energy. So to put it very simple, as said earlier, all you need to do is upgrade your radiators in the first step. Yeah? It's an easy investment. It's done very, very, very fast. Yeah? Just exchange the valve in the radiator, do a new calculation, right presetting, put on a new thermostatic head, and the savings are tremendous, even though you just have a very, very, very small investment in your building.
And also another topic these days is heat pumps. What are the combination possibilities you see with hydronic balancing or AutoSar in particular?
Speaking about heat pumps and the combination of heat pumps in renovations and system upgrades, I guess it's important to mention that a lot of people are discussing heat pumps at the moment, not just in the German market here, but in all the neighboring countries as well. Numbers are going through the roof. So we need to find good solutions of heat pumps for system upgrades in existing buildings. But it's not just enough to just exchange your heat source from gas to a heat pump and everything's fine. No. That's a mistake. You also need to look at the other products all around the heat pump. I'm speaking about expansion vessels, air and dirt separation, etc., etc. You need to have a really, really, really perfect, not only design, but the system components that they must work together to create a good COP of your heat pump. Otherwise, you spend a lot of money on your heat pump, you forget the other components, and I wouldn't say your investment was for nothing, but it's not giving you the return on invest you want. So make sure you do not forget the other components all around your heating system. Only then you can guarantee very efficient and some value for your money.
Peter, do you think we should go look at the product now?
Let's go.
We are now near our product, so would you like to tell us the advantages that AutoSar has in terms of what the market has?
Absolutely. So when we look at our AutoSar product, first thing we need to mention is the AutoSar product comes from our Comap brand, and luckily Comap has a very long experience in the manufacturing of valves. So this means this specific AutoSar valve is using a special membrane technology, which is compared to other manufacturers in the market, or has several advantages. First of all, this membrane technology prevents the valve from clogging. So this means we always ensure a good flow over the valve, and by not clogging the valve, the control characteristic stays high. This is only one advantage. Further advantage, especially in the control range of 0.1 to 0.6 bar differential pressure, we have seen in comparison to other manufacturers that the control characteristic of our valve is simply the best. Next advantage over here, you will see a small O-ring. Every valve is equipped with this O-ring. This means you will shorten your installation times because you don't need additional work on sealing, and it will reduce the risk of any leakage. So it's not only about the control of the valve, which is saving energy, but also the fact that you can reduce problems, that you reduce your installation time. This also helps to maximize the efficiency, not only energy efficiency, but also general efficiency in the installation in buildings.
Yeah, of course, just the product being energy efficient is not enough. Making it easy to install is also important for the future of sustainable world, I would say.
Exactly, 100%.
And thank you so much, Peter. It was really nice speaking to you about hydronic balancing and especially about AutoSar.
Thank you very much, and we hope to see a lot of visitors in our booth B05 in Hall 9 here to speak about that very interesting product.
Thank you.
Thank you.